Hey guys, how's it going? Right now, I want to teach you guys how to set up a proper lookalike audience. So before I get into it, the way it works is basically a lookalike audience is an audience of people that are similar to the people who are interested in your product. Facebook's algorithm detects, the type of people who are taking interest into that product that you're selling, and you create an audience that's similar to them. It uses the algorithm and data to create this. So now, the thing that comes up in question is a lot of people are like, what's better, a general store or a niche store? So when I test products, I like to have a general store. But usually when I find like a really good winner, I want to have a store dedicated to that niche or that product because, I want the pixel to collect data that's relevant to that product. If it's not relevant, it's going to, the pixel's going to be all over the place because you're testing, so many different products and different niches, and it does confuse the pixel a little bit. So, keep that in mind when you have a winner. Maybe you're going to want to make a new site just for that winner, just so you have a pixel that's dedicated to that product. So let's get into it. So if I come up here, I'll click on audience right here. So what you're going to want to do is before you can create a lookalike audience, you got to create a custom audience. So there's a few things, guys. So basically, now you have view content, you have add to cart, initiate checkout, and purchase. So the more data, first you got to accumulate data. So I recommend collecting at least 1,500 to 2,000 view contents on that product before even like deciding to go with a lookalike audience. I wouldn't even do it otherwise. So okay, so you see website traffic right here. We're gonna click website traffic. We're gonna switch this to all. You're gonna select your pixel. Now, if you click on this breakdown right here, you're gonna see view content, purchase. They have everything, but we're gonna talk about view content, purchase, add to cart, and initiate checkout. Everyone always thinks like, oh, the lookalike audience for purchase is gonna perform the best. It's not true. First of all, you need a lot of purchases to even think about doing that. I wouldn't even make a lookalike on purchases unless I had 1,000+ purchases for that product track. So, the first thing I always start with, and the one that always performs the best for me, is view content. Now, it seems funny, but it's true. It does work the best. You can always make lookalike audiences on view content. You can make lookalike audience on add to carts, initiate checkouts, and purchases in that order. So, after you get a lot of add to cart, you could try a lookalike audience for add to cart. Then you could try a lookalike audience for initiate checkout. Then you could try one for purchase. But we're going to always start with the view content. And remember, at least 1,500 to 2,000 view contents for that product. So I'm going to click view content right here. Usually for this, I'll just put 180 days. And you're going to name the audience, view content, and whatever the product is. So we're going to just use those shoes as an example. They were called Max Lift shoes. So again, your pixel tracks like what's performing the best and the data that's coming in for that product. But again, you always might want to make a new store or a niche store just for that product. It makes it look more reputable and the pixel's more seasoned for that product. So you're going to do this. You're going to click custom audience, click your pixel. You're going to select all, view content, 180 days, and then you just name it view content, whatever the product name is. Again, don't jump the gun to purchases, add to carts, initiate checkout. Start at view content. It performs very good. You have to move up to that slowly. You need to collect data before you can do that. So obviously, this is going to take a while to populate. It's not going to populate right now. It's going to take a long time. So you don't want to do this next step until this is populated completely. Sometimes also when you'll create the audience, it'll show you that it's populated already, but it's not. It takes like 30 minutes to an hour. But make believe it's populated right now, and I'm going to show you what the next step would be. So now I would click on this, and then I'd click actions. I'd create lookalike. Now the thing is, so you could do a number of things. So what I discussed in my last video was the breakdown tab. Suppose United States was performing the best for this product, right? You could create a lookalike audience based on United States. If I go on browse, I can click on North America, any country that was performing the best, United States, doesn't matter. I could click on that audience and I can make a lookalike based on that, and it's fine. But the thing is that when I test products and when I start with my lookalikes, I always do a lookalike based on worldwide first, because then I could use that breakdown tab and I could see where it's performing the best. I like that the lookalike audience is probably going to be your best friend. It's the strongest. Normally, not always, it gets you the best conversions, the best data. So, you know, for this video, we're going to make a worldwide lookalike. So I'm just going to select all of these. And you're going to click regions also. You're going to select all. Now, this is what I like to do. So we selected all of these. We're going to go show advanced options. Usually 1% performs the best for me, but we're going to put this on, we're going to create 5 audiences, but I'm going to have to create the last one by itself. So look, we're going to have a 0 to 1%, a 1 to 2%, a 2 to 3%, and a 3 to 5%. And then I'm going to make a separate one just for 10%. Now, usually 0 to 1% works the best for me. It's usually the strongest, but you should always test them all. Oh, and the thing is, you want to make sure when you're testing these that the audiences don't overlap each other. What I mean by overlap, I mean like you don't want to compete against yourself. So what you're going to do in the ad set level is, you know, when you choose this custom audience, there's going to be an exclude tab, and you're going to want to exclude the other lookalike audience so that they don't overlap, because you're going to compete against yourself. You're going to drive your own cost up. It makes no sense. So you want to make sure you're excluding that audience just so there's like no overlap at all. So now if I click create audience, it's going to take about an hour to populate, but oh, okay, look. So it's giving me this error right here. It wouldn't normally give this error, but it's giving it because the other view content audience we made is still populating, so you would just have to wait for that. That just means that there needs to be at least 100 people in one country for it to do that. But we have that. It's just that the audience isn't populated. So, you know, okay, so you would just do exactly what I just did, and then for the you would redo this again. You would do one more lookalike, and the last lookalike would be, hold on one second, I'm going to show you guys. You would just do one like that, 10%. 10% is like worldwide is like a 200 million audience. So if you get that working, you have such a broad audience to just keep, you know, blasting your ad in front of them. I just also wanted to mention to you guys, because I forgot. So if you're seeing that error that we just previously saw, it just means that you need more data. So like I said, 1,500 to 2,000 view contents before you even attempt that. Sometimes you'll get that really quick. And then when you have those custom audiences, you basically would come to the ads manager, and you would, so let's see, where is that? You would come to the ad set level, right? You would just create an ad set, and then you would test one lookalike audience per ad set. You don't put them all into one ad set, one per ad set. See where it says custom audience right here? You would literally just put the lookalike in. That's it. You don't touch anything else except you can unclick expand interest and, you know, change the budget. Usually, it depends what it depends if you want to spend a lot, but when I start with a lookalike, I always start right away with a $100 budget on manual bid because I'm so confident in it. But if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you could just do, you know, $25 automatic and, you know, the normal way we discussed scaling before. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.